Guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for Will We Be Together? It's a pick a card. My name is Varush and this is the pick a card channel. You can pick a card all the time down below by subscribing to the channel. We're going to do three options today: blue, green, and yellow, and I'm going to give you guys a card for each option, and then as we take a look at the cards, you can choose which reading you want. So in this reading, you're totally okay for choosing a different option. This is a timeless reading, so that means whenever you watch it, it's totally okay with me or with the universe. You can change anytime. It's your karma, right? So I have three cards and three colors: blue, green, and yellow. And so let's take a look at the cards to see if one of these cards resonates more for you than the others, and maybe this will be a connection to your pick a card reading. Your first message is attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So that's your first message for blue. So if you feel that's on point, choose this one. And then we have green, which is here. We have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. That's for green. And yellow we have deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. Ooh, that's creepy. Okay, so let's figure it out. So you choose 1, 2, and 3. Will we be together? You got a little bit of a bonus regarding some extra information. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Change the option if it's not resonating or if you don't like it. It's your karma, totally okay. And take your time, just enjoy. This is a timeless reading, so you can watch it anytime. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for choosing number 2 and welcome to your video. We're going to take a look at will you be together with the person that you're thinking about. Let's take a look at your cards. Your first message is the 6 of Swords. So definitely moving on from a situation or moving on from a tough experience. So something didn't work out in the way that you had hoped, or there's a decision to walk away from a difficult part in the relationship. The next message is the 8 of Pentacles. This is Sun and Virgo. So a Virgo may have given you some good advice. Maybe you were watching my videos. I'm a Virgo. So also there's like a lot of emphasis to do with work here and having to work towards a certain outcome and committing yourself to doing that work. The next message is the Moon. The female in the relationship had secrets. The female in the relationship could have been unfaithful or could have been unfaithful in a past life. So if you're the female in this relationship, then you, and especially if your partner was getting illogically angry with you for no reason and getting super like aggro without too much purpose, there could have been like a legacy of betrayal or infidelity. And then we have the 4 of Swords. The masculine is currently resting at this time. They're not necessarily entertaining anything one way or the other. They're just really wanting to decompress and de-stress their energy. The next message is the 3 of Wands. I feel like there's good things coming in for both people socially. They're on the outset of some new phase in life. There's new things coming in, new connections, new social connections, new opportunities. The next message is we have the Knight of Cups. A family member shows up and is becoming much more prevalent in your life, one person's life. This person could be a water sign. They could have Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio in their chart, or if they have like secondary transits, which are like less dominant transits but still present, they could have air signs like Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. This person can also be coming in to offer something emotionally which will change the dynamic between the people. I also feel like maybe the female got iced out a little bit. Iced out means that the masculine in some way had sort of closed the door on her. And so I feel like she may have mixed feelings or mixed emotions, and that's what the moon represents, that she feels left out in the cold. But I think that the masculine is just resting. The next message is the Two of Pentacles. I feel like there is a lot of growing that's going on, a lot of kind of putting things in perspective about who's who and what's what in the situation, trying to understand what's going on. There could be good days and bad days at this time, and I think that one or both people are getting kind of used to the fact that there could be both good and bad. Temperance, I think both people have decided to really be cautious in this situation, to not get too confrontational or to not get too intense about anything. I think that they in some way understand that if push comes to shove and wrong things are said, then that could fracture the relationship. So they're, rather than trying to be too confrontational or too intense, they're taking a step back. The next message is the Queen of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Her secondary transits could be in Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. There's someone who's really single, who's giving suggestion or who's giving some kind of advice on the situation. She is possibly someone who's older, possibly somebody's mother. If you are the female in the situation and you are dating someone whose mother is influencing, be very, very cautious, because she's very much protective of his energy, and she will encourage him to break up if things get too intense or too dramatic. She will encourage him to move on if things get too out there. Here is the next message. We have the High Priestess. The thing is that the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups have a very similar resonance. I feel as though there's someone who's watching over this situation who's not their mother and who's not a mother, and she in some way understands the significance of this connection. I'm judging from just the resonance of the feeling that this relationship is between people who are fairly young. If they're not young in terms of chronology, then their spirit is very young, or they're beginning some kind of new phase in life when they're really at the beginning of some big things rather than at the outset. The next message is the Death card. And what this represents is that something was going to come to an end very abruptly. Something is going to come to an end. Possibly somebody's family members will die. I suspect that they are in the extended family, and I feel like maybe the Knight of Cups is bringing information about that. That is going to create a reset point. A reset point is when you get the opportunity to start again in a situation. It's like sometimes at a funeral you see someone you haven't seen for a long time and you spark up conversation and your relationship reignites again, like a platonic relationship with a family member. But also this card can represent that a death or a loss can prompt a more openness within the relationship. So that person may come to realize that they need someone more, or that they need reciprocity. They are looking now for something different than they were before, something to do with like relating. They prioritize relating more with others, whereas before there was a lot more autonomy. Here is autonomy means that that person didn't need anyone as much before, and now they're needing someone more. Now, next we have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like there is long-term goals that one or both people are trying to invest time and energy into, and so that will remain consistent. The next message is the Queen of Swords. Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, secondary transits in water, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. These are women or men, but this represents typically more of a feminine energy. I will say that the Queen of Swords most likely is in some way tied to this loss. She could also be described as the widow, so she could be representative of widowhood. So you're relating to someone who has lost someone, and this person in some way changes things. Okay, here is the next message. We have the Six of Pentacles, and so this is reciprocity, and so this represents the, I feel as though maybe a Sagittarius is very important in your life at this time, and I think this person is being quite generous. I feel like there is a lot of give and take, especially between these two queens. So there could be another layer to this reading to do with the general environment in which particularly females are giving to each other or being generous with each other, be it with money. I'm getting money, but more also typically with conversation and sympathy and understanding. Here is the next message. We have the World card. There's a desire to move or travel, but I think that majority of the benefits in this relationship are about bringing things in. Things are coming into this relationship rather than having to go abroad. So if someone needs to travel to save this relationship, it's a sign that that's not going in the way it should be. Here is the next message. There's the Two of Pentacles. I feel, or Two of Wands, sorry. And I feel like with this Two of Wands, there's this, there is this looking far away towards something, looking far away towards something to make it a reality. There's this sense of longing and a lack of understanding for what you have at home, and so it's kind of a misplaced focus. It's a focus you don't need right now, and that is distracting progress. Being present and in the present moment, welcoming things in, simplifying things rather than expansion is really what the divine feminine needs to do more of. The divine masculine is so passive. It feels like he's sleeping right through the whole situation. It's just a bunch of women doing lots of different things. There's a lot of females here. There's a Page of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This could be this person as well. Somebody's offering something into the picture. Somebody is very importantly infusing the relationship with an emotional layer, emotional something to make it kind of come alive. I do feel like this is fairly one-sided, like somebody has been left with a bunch of questions that they're trying to understand. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, this is jealousy. Somebody turned off their feelings because of a jealousy over money. So I feel like there is either an inequality between people or something's going on where the emotions are just the divine masculine. I'll point fingers. The divine masculine turned off their feelings because of perceived strength and beauty or money, that it was a self-esteem issue. They didn't feel like they could be up to par. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, 3 queens, and in this position I feel like there's a lot of gossip that's probably making the situation more problematic. She's a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Secondary transits in water, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I feel as though this Queen of Pentacles in some way is bringing a lot of happiness into this situation. I feel like in this situation there is a breakup, and it feels like there's a lot of confusion about why that breakup is happening. But I feel like the outcome is positive, and I think that there will be new opportunities, especially through younger family members, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I feel like there's going to be new paths available soon. I think the divine feminine is just left wondering. It's almost like she's been ghosted, or there's been a turning off of feelings, and this is sleeping, you know, dead, done. And I think that maybe there's another situation to do with a loss, or someone's incurred a loss, or there's been a death, and maybe that's highlighting the shortcomings of the relationships even more. You want to celebrate with this other person, you want to confide in them through a loss, and so maybe that's really underpinning the relationship or teaching what the relationship is about. King of Wands, a Sag, Leo, or Aries. There could be a manipulative man involved in this situation who's trying to make someone feel like, I sense that this is a person who was interested and was rebuffed, so they're in some way like picking on someone to help to kind of make them feel as though they really missed out on something, even though that in and of itself proves that they haven't missed out on anything. I do feel like there's someone who has like a big appetite. They have like a big appetite. They have big goals, big dreams, and they're like, "Hey, come with me on my yacht," you know, whatever. But I feel like this King of Wands in some way is a I think that he's just kind of full of, you know what, dung. On the bottom we have the Nine of Cups. I think this is a hidden blessing. I think it's a hidden blessing that maybe you don't appreciate to be a hidden blessing, but I think it is. I'm going to put 4 cards here. Sorry, it's a little dark right now, but the light's switching at this time of day. So I have 4 cards. Maybe you can pick one for like a deeper message. You can take on all 4, but maybe this will allow you to kind of understand this a bit deeper. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your first card is, we have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So I think that most likely this isn't, maybe this person will come back around, but I feel like, what if someone leaves you high and dry, would you really want that kind of energy back again? It feels like it's too little too late almost. And then there's this very intrusive energy. My best bet for you is probably to go with this energy. New opportunities, new friends, having fun, that kind of thing. Then we have number 2, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Again, it's your feelings are valid. So, and it may not be a breakup, but you're feeling it. You're feeling like there's other stuff going on. And listen, once you feel like you're in a game, like you're being played or it's a game, then you need to get out of there. Once somebody does that to you, you just know what they're about, and you know that's never going to change. Even if you marry them, at some point they might play another game on you. That's just not a characteristic you can tolerate, okay? Be it if you're a man or a woman. Here is the next message, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So I feel like there's great pressure here to do with the relationship, and this makes sense with all these queens. So if you chose this one, that's probably the strongest energy for you at this time. And this is maybe why this person has left. So maybe in this case, you know, it's okay, and maybe this is the father who has high expectations. So in some way, maybe there is a way through. Maybe there's like a spiritual person, a matriarch, who will in some way help and support. Maybe this is their grandmother who will kind of help to form this situation, while the petty younger females in some way are gossiping and, you know, kind of destroying the situation. Here is the next message. So there's an older female involved in, if you chose 3. Number 4, we have separation. A time apart from your partner is on the horizon. These are pretty intense. And do you see how these are all sort of connected to this reading? This is all about separation. If you chose this one, most likely this is the best bet in terms of, you know, reconciling a relationship. But remember, this is like a hidden blessing, because I think other things are coming around for you. The separation card is for number 4, and I think this is a confirmation that this is, you know, a time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Now listen, if this didn't resonate for you, or if you didn't like it, feel free to choose another option. And you can choose anytime, because this is timeless, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Go back to the beginning and watch another one. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Hi guys, so if you chose green, this is your option, and I'm excited to be here with you guys. And so let's see what happens for you in terms of this reading, okay? So let's take a look at your first message. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So there wasn't a truce. There was like a promise between yourself and someone else. There was a promise to do something together, to see each other through in a situation. Then we have the High Priestess. So there was probably either a tarot card reader or some kind of astrologer told you that this was going to be a situation that would happen in your life. So when you met this person, you were like, man, you know, like you were head over heels, you felt for this person. The next card is the Eight of Cups. The Divine Feminine wants to walk away from the situation. Saturn in Pisces, suddenly the problems outweigh the benefits of this relationship, and it feels too heavy to the point that it doesn't feel exciting anymore. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. And so with the Eight of Pentacles, what we're talking about is that the Divine Masculine is working really hard on some goals. That's Virgo, that's Sun in Virgo. They're working on some goals. They're being so diligent. They're working really hard towards a good outcome. The next message is the Knight of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So this Knight of Cups in some way is a friend who's coming in with an offer. I sense that this is an offer for a trip. So somebody's being offered a long distance trip, a vacation, and I think it's something that that person really wants, but because of all the other things that are going on, it feels very heavy. It feels like a very big burden to take it on, that they feel like disloyal to do it because it's so far and it would take such a long period of time. So they're feeling like they would be messing with like the good energy of their current situation. The next message is the Star. There's a soulmate in somebody's family. There was a really good wish that was made by someone in someone's family to work out a relationship and to make sure that it works well. Then there was the Four of Pentacles. I feel as though somebody has done a great deal of work on being selfish and stingy, and so I think that the improvement in the relationship has a lot to do with that. In fact, I think that it's the Divine Feminine who's been doing a lot of work in that direction, and that's part of the reason why she's Eight of Cupsing it, because I feel like it's almost like if you're an ex-smoker, then you can never be around cigarettes because it could feel like you could get sick at any time. And so with this Eight of Cups, I feel like she's walking away from a situation. I feel as though she's walking away from a situation because she feels as though it's triggering her to be more stingy again, and that's something that she's worked really hard not to be. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. So instability, I feel as though there's like moments where it feels really good, or that the relationship is really intense and powerful, and there's times when you're just not feeling that enthusiastic about it. And then there's the Queen of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Very emotional. When the two people in this relationship are apart, they get really emotional about each other. They get really emotional about things. So they in some way get melodramatic, they get really weepy, they don't want to go out, they're kind of antisocial, or they're crying a lot. Like it's really triggering for them. The Lovers, there's a family member who's really on board. This is the same family member as the Star. This is Gemini, this is Aquarius, but maybe it doesn't have to do with those signs. But there's a family member who's really on board, who really has your back in a situation, who really has like a lot of trust in a situation, and there's a lot of encouragement to keep going, even though it feels kind of hard. I feel like both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine are super overworked right now, so it's like the promises that they made in the first place feel very overwhelming because of it's just a lot of work that they're under now, a lot of pressure. The Six of Wands is next, and so I feel like there is going to be a victory to do with one of their pieces of work, or what they're doing in terms of work. There's going to be a victory that's going to give them like extra energy because they're going to feel like positive reinforcement for the efforts that they are putting into it, so it's not going to feel so futile. The next message is the Fool, and so I feel like the new beginning that's come, it's almost like something will begin it's almost like you know that they have to go to university, you know that they have to travel, or maybe you have to travel. That new beginning is coming no matter what you do, it's coming. And maybe that's a part of the kind of feeling like I gotta give up because this is not going to work out, because the new beginning will come regardless, and what is this for anyway? The next message is the Five of Swords. And so I feel as though in the bigger picture, this is a relationship about overcoming the feeling that you failed. So in this relationship, this is closing out the feeling that you have failed. This is not a feeling in which this is ending the feeling that you have failed, that things didn't work out. So even though it feels like failure still, that phase is actually ending. So if you really like the other person, and I feel like these are both very serious people, you both are very serious people, and so you have like real goals, and you're willing to sacrifice to meet those goals, and you're like really serious about your future in life. And so I feel like the Five of Swords, it's something that's tapering out, so there will be more confidence in this relationship. The Three of Swords, yeah, working through a broken heart. I feel as though the Divine Masculine had a broken heart. Maybe it's the Divine Feminine, but I feel like especially I feel like the Divine Masculine had lost someone, like someone had passed in their life in the past. Maybe even a parent had passed on when they were a child, and so they have a lot of issues. If that parent didn't pass, then there was like a significant separation where they didn't see their mother or their father for a long time, or someone close over them. I'm sensing over them, and when they were young, and it's affecting their personality. So it's affecting their, they're coping, they're struggling with that. The next message is the Five of Pentacles. Fears of financial worry are really working against you in this relationship, because then you're worried whether or not this situation is going to work out, and then you start making choices based on fear, and that's never a good thing. The next message is the Nine of Wands. I feel like just waiting idly is not going to help this situation. The longer you wait, the more chance you have of walking away, the more chance you have of just deciding to back out of this situation. The Death card represents Scorpio, so if you're dealing with a Scorpio, there's a fated event to do with that. There is an ending there's an ending of something that they're doing that is going to change the dynamic between them. So like someone's going to lose a job, some opportunity is going to change, or possibly they're going to have to move. And so that's going to change the dynamic between you and this person to a better dynamic. It's actually the thing that is going to shake things up just a little bit, so that because right now it's like hitting your head against the wall. Broken heart, failure. Broken heart, failure. Again and again. You keep on hitting this wall, which is the Divine Feminine is kind of done with it, because she's like, it's like chasing your own tail. It's kind of crazy to keep doing the same thing. But an event is coming up that's going to change that, and it's going to, once you change things, there's going to be a new outcome. So it could actually improve the relationship. Here is the next message. We have the Ten of Cups. A really strong desire for happy family and happy home, and the desire and the expectation is so strong that it feels strange. It feels strange to be seemingly so far away. It's like, how can we actually make that work? How can we make this perfect situation work if we're so far away from it? We have the Queen of Pentacles next. I feel as though making peace with a situation. If we have a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, and an earth sign, female, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, they're going to have like a rift between them, and they can be any gender. But I feel as though the Queen of Pentacles is coming in with great support, and I feel as though there's going to be a conversation about something that didn't work out in the past that's going to really address the hypersensitivity or the trauma. That's why somebody's feeling triggered again and again. The next message is the Hierophant. This is the card of marriage. So it feels like really far away from now, but I'm not saying it feels to me, I'm saying from this vantage point for you guys, it feels like very far away, but I don't think it's so outside of the realm of possibility. On the bottom is the Ace of Cups, which is a revival in feelings towards the situation. There's like a revival of feelings. You feel once again strong about the situation. The Hierophant is ruled by Taurus. So what I'm doing with these is doing a little pick a card if you're interested. So you can choose one of 4 cards here with the Romance Angels. So we'll take a look at the cards and you can choose these options, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And all of these apply to your relationship, but maybe one is stronger energy than the others. So let's take a look at the first one. So you have free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. I feel like you're really succumbing to negative thinking if you chose this one. Like you're doing this, you're leaving because you don't want to get hurt, you don't want to be caught up in a dead-end situation. But I think that that jadedness is in some way holding you back from actually being present in this situation. I think the fact that you feel so jaded from this situation, you're feeling so jaded that it's causing you to make decisions that are in some way creating it's like the prophecy manifests, right? You believe it, so you do it to create it. But and in fact, what you're doing is you're reinforcing this person's broken heart. So the divine feminine, is doing that to reinforce the other person's. They don't do it knowingly, but it's the thing that this person is afraid of, that this is, and in some way it's happening again. But I think you can get a hold of it. I think the outcome is positive unless you really get stuck in your energy and you refuse to free yourself of this, like turning your back on a situation. If this is too strong, if the expectation's too strong, then the reality will always disappoint, right? And I think that there's a really good reality waiting for you. Here is the next message, number 2. We see calling in your soulmate. Your powers, prayers, affirmations, and visualization help bring you together. So if there's a separation, this person's not talking, they're on shutdown mode, they're focused on work, this person's giving up, they're like, oh, I think that there needs to be, even if this is you and you're like shut down and not really opened up because you're so afraid, but you really want that person there, do some meditating and open your heart to the world to bring in that energy now. This is the time to do it. And this is a timeless reading, but you can do it anytime, but this is the time to do it. I can feel it, so let it manifest. Just say, I want this energy now. Here is the next message. So we have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by religious factors and upbringing and spiritual path. So both people are deeply spiritual in this situation. I feel like both people have very, philosophy, when you ask a philosopher a question, you get no answer, you just get 10 more questions. So it's the same kind of factor. You're so sensitive spiritually that you're confounding simple situations, and you're confounded by simple situations, and they're really weighing you down. Maybe there's going to be a conversation with a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Maybe you'll get a reading with me. Hey girl, hey. Readings at Varouche.com. I'm just kidding. Or a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, and she will in some way hear out your broken heart and help you make it simple so you can kind of be more open to the experience. The next message, and number 4, we have attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. It's kind of the same actually in both. It's like the power of now, like live in the present, have your current experience, welcome in the love, trust that it's coming to you now, and stop trying to project it into that you're going to get this. It's just you're too stuck on your design of what this looks like, and therefore you're not doing anything. You're kind of hunched over and not letting life in. So I feel like maybe this is a time to open up, and in this time you can open up and receive, and it's coming really soon. I don't think it's really far away. I feel it in my heart. Let me know if you feel it in yours. I feel like it's in the present moment. But if you don't like this reading, then choose another one. I think you're a fool if you're choosing another one. But yeah, I think that there's something really, really good, that it's just about deciding and accepting that you want it now. Like saying to yourself, I want it now. And being confident about it, like I am getting it now. You know, I am receiving it now in the form that it's meant to be. Okay? I hope that you enjoyed this. Like I said, if you don't like it, then choose another one. But I think that you'd be foolish to not take this. Yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe. This is different than my main channel. Take care. Bye. Hi guys, thanks for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your yellow option, and feel free to choose another one if you don't like this one, but at least watch it first. I don't know what it's gonna be. Okay, so let's start with your reading. So your first option is the Seven of Pentacles. So this relationship involves investment into the future. So there's like investment in the future, seeing where things will come to and how things will progress. The next message is the Ten of Swords, Sun in Gemini. I feel like somebody had, it could be a Gemini, but someone could have feelings that are very like things are not going to work out. They're very kind of set on the fact that things are not going to work out. And then we have the Two of Wands. And so I feel like there's a lot of reflection on the past, and especially the divine feminine. The feminine is reflecting on the past right now and considering whether or not this situation is right for what she wants for herself, or whether she and this other person can be together. The next message is the Queen of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. The divine masculine has a strong female water energy around him. And it doesn't necessarily mean that she's romantic, but she has a huge influence on what he's thinking and what he's feeling right now. This Queen of Cups can be a man or a woman, but she is a huge influence in some way, either maybe a counselor, or it could be a variety of different kinds of people. But the fact is that his emotions are hugely influenced by somebody else's emotional interpretation of his situation. The next message is the Death card. There's going to be a change socially on the horizon for both of you, or one of you, most likely both of you, because you are doing a reading about the both of you, so there's probably similar. I'm picking up on the fact that there's social similarities between you and this other person. So you may not be in the same group of friends, but you are experiencing the same peaks and lows, and so I feel like you both will go through a period in which some of your friends change. There's going to be an exodus, you know, and a resurgence in a way, cleaning out the things, the people who are not not good for you, and bringing new people in. Two of Pentacles next. There's a really unstable family member who's affecting situations, or an unstable family situation, not being sure whether you can really connect with that family or not, or you need to back off. But there's a lot of like, you don't know, shaky territory with family members, and I'm not sure which partner is involved in that. The Eight of Swords, I feel like it's still a time in which solutions are being sought. I feel as though a great tragedy happened in one person's life right here. They're still recovering from it. I don't think it's in the distant past. I think it's in the recent past. And this could be another person who's close to both of you in some way, or one of you. But there's someone who went through a significant struggle who's still in some way contending with it. But there's the Sun. This is actually a really great place to have the Sun. I feel like life is coming back in, and it's coming back in fast. And there's this sense of love that is between you and this other person, but it's not like an ignorant love. It's like those puppy love days are gone. There's no, now it has to be earned. Now it has to be proven. Here is the next message. We have the Knight of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, a Virgo, or possibly Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. There's someone who is coming in with offers. There's someone who's acting out of their own volition to help the situation, to help and support. I think that there's a really loving energy around you or the other person, with like a lot of really hugs and kisses, and there's just a really warm atmosphere, family atmosphere. Here is, because I think the family's been through a struggle, and so now there's like a significant outpouring of love and compassion. Then there's the Two of Cups, and so there's somebody's falling in love. Somebody's going to make a decision and fall in love and just go for it. Go for a loving energy. I think that it's learning about loss and learning from that loss to embrace the love that you have. It's like a wake-up call. Like, instead of standing around and sort of waiting for the future to come, you have the wake-up call that if you may lose it, you may lose the opportunity if you're not careful. Here is the next message. I mean, people pass, right? So if you wait too long, you might miss that opportunity. So I think that someone is getting that awareness, and they've already got this awareness, and maybe this person is encouraging them in a helpful capacity to kind of come to terms with that. Or maybe the Divine Feminine is sort of reflecting on everything and being like, man, why are we not doing this? Like, this is just so ridiculous. We're putting life on hold just to wait. The next message is the Nine of Wands, and what this represents is that this represents that reset time. The waiting time was actually really necessary. So you needed to wait a situation through. You needed to see a situation through fully. The next message is we the Page of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in Earth, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. There's someone new who's coming in. Someone not new, but someone's back from a trip. They're back around. They're here again, and so they're coming back in. They're bringing in new energy. They're a lot of fun. And I think that there's a quick turnaround in this situation towards the better. I think it starts off really iffy, still in mourning, still sad, still weighed down by things. And then there's a turnaround, and there's some really good energy and a reunion, right? So a reunion that is meant to happen, and it's going to change things. If you get invited to a reunion, you're supposed to go, because I think there's going to be love that comes out of that. Even I almost feel like maybe both people are not at the reunion, and then one texts the other because they have like the epiphany moment and the awareness. And then there's an Ace of Cups. So a new relationship is blossoming, and it's somebody's going to decide to make a gesture of love towards the other person. There's going to be a definite attempt at building a relationship, a good try at love. Working too much is not in your best interest. This is a time when you're supposed to put that effort in towards your relationship with the other person, other people as well. Get a feel for the new situation. As certain people left your life, with the new people that you're interacting with, you need to really learn who you're dealing with and who they are and how you relate to them, and figure out like who's who and what's what. Let's see the next message. We have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel as though there's a change in position. So somebody is being humbled. Somebody had a very wealthy situation, or maybe somebody had a very like, something is humbling about their situation. They're going to have to, they're not going to have it so easy. It's not like it's going to be horrible. It's just they were really privileged for a while, and I feel like that is sort of changing. They have to, and that's why they were single too, because they had everything they needed and they didn't really need another person there. And so now there's like a change in in that where they actually need to, they're not lower vibration, but this is not a good card to have for a long time, because this makes people lazy. It makes people entitled. You know, it's nice. Everybody likes nice dress, you know, to walk in the garden, but you can't have a walk like in Poland, where I'm from. People would walk in the gardens on Sundays, right? Their families would walk around. But if you walk around every day in the gardens, which you can do in Warsaw and like big cities like that, if you do it too much, then you become a bum, right? Like that's sorry, but that's the truth. And that's the negative side of this card, that if you're too wrapped up in just enjoying your privilege, then you don't live your life, you don't try, and that's not a good thing. So I think that it's not that somebody's losing everything, it's that someone is now living they lived through an indulgence, and now they have to come back down to earth and live amongst the mortals. You know, again, six of wands, victorious energy coming in. It's like maybe this person even was like on a trip, they were having fun, you know, the trip of a lifetime, and now they have to live, they have to work, they have to live their life. And that's a victory moment. They still have beautiful memories from that experience, but I think that now they are here and they're present. They're here to live their life. This could also be someone being born into this life, so they have been in some way, you know, in another state, and now they were reincarnated into this lifetime, and it's very victorious, the energy they're bringing in, victory. When a baby is born into a family, it throws an insurgence of energy into people's lives. The next message is the Three of Swords. So there's a broken heart that sort of confuses circumstances. Maybe because something turned so good, these feelings from before get sort of suppressed. So moving forward in the relationship, there could be one person who's sort of sad in silence. So make sure that if it's not you, that you're caring towards the other person and understanding that there could be still some mourning there or sadness. And if it's you, then try to convey your feelings, because everybody's celebrating. They may not pick up on the fact that you're still kind of mourning something or sad about a situation. Then we have the Nine of Cups, and it's okay to tell people if you're hurting. Nine of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. This feels very powerful, like that connection is there. And here is the next message. We have the Five of Swords. So some of the ambitions in the world are not going to turn out in the way that you had hoped, but I think that you're getting something different, and I think it's showing up here. There's like a reframing of things, like a new direction. On the bottom is the Queen of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, secondary transits in water, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I feel as though these are necessary moves forward to become who you're meant to become, and in some way she is more than this, you know. She in some way exemplifies more than this is just a bunch of costume jewelry, you know. This is the gold ring. So I think that you have to let go of some of the like kitschy stuff, or it's fun, kitsch stuff is great, but you have to let go of the temporary, and you're getting the big stuff. So some of that's going to feel like you're not getting some of the things you want, but you're getting much bigger things, including this relationship. I think this relationship is more than what you had thought. That's another layer to this. Now we're going to do a second pick a card within this option, in which you choose between the 4 different options here, and then they all resonate for this reading, but maybe one is stronger for you than the others, just like an extra layer of trying to understand. Let's take a look at your first card. Your first card is passion. So allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So I feel like, yeah, it's way bigger than what you thought. It's like from the saddest moments of somebody's life comes the best moments. Next card, number 2. We have new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Maybe you feel a lot of guilt because you're leaving behind a situation. You're leaving behind, one person's leaving behind a whole situation, a whole way of life. It's completely shifting, and maybe a new person is coming into their life, like a whole new person, a whole new beginning. And some of the things are not going to be what you had originally thought. You know, maybe your life will be different, but I think that you will be happy with it's more true to you, because what you wanted was a reflection of what you were telling yourself you were like, even though some of those things were not accurate to who you were. So you were sort of still learning who you were, and so the things you expected for yourself were only a fraction of what you're about to receive, of what your true self really deserves. Here is the next message. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So I feel like, yeah, a Knight of Cups. I think so. Or maybe this Page of Wands. I feel as though it's going to happen very, very fast. Surprise. It's like, boom, there it is. Here is the next message. So don't look for it. Just let it happen. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. It's just like, see it through. Things are changing for you and them. And I think that you need to be really thoughtful, and you need to be tolerant of whatever it requires, right? Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't like this one, choose one of the other options. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.